Right, we've got a couple of questions on midpoints of lines here. So this is a pretty basic one. This is a little bit more complicated, but don't worry about that. We're going to have a look at that in a minute. Now, we've got 2 points, A and B. A is 2, 1, and B is 6, 6, and we're asked to find the midpoint. Now, the midpoint's going to be around there somewhere. But we can't just draw across on there and say, oh, there you go, I've drawn the midpoint. I've got to actually find what point it is. So if you think about it, I'm going in 2 steps, aren't I? I'm going 1 step like that, another step like that, and these steps are equal sizes. So all I've got to work out is how far along I've gone from this point to here, and how far up I've gone from this point to here. Okay, so how far along? Well, I've gone from 2 to 6, so that's along 4, so each one of these has got to be 2. So this point, if I add 2 onto that, I end up with 4. Okay, and I've gone up from 1 up to 6, so each one of those is actually 2.5. Now, don't worry that you've got the half there, you can have 2.5 there, so 1 add 2.5 is 3.5, and there would be your midpoint of 4, 3.5, because you split the steps up into 2 equal bits. Now this one, slightly different because you're told that if P and Q, all right, and Q, don't worry about the fact that there's letters in there, a bit of algebra, okay, are 2 points whose midpoint is this, all right, find H and K. What I'm going to do is I'm going to write P down here, and that's 4, 3. Now my midpoint I know as well, which is 7, -1, and Q is HK, but I'm told that I need to find what H and K are, so I'm going to leave those blank for now. Now, if this is the midpoint, look, if you think back to this, it was the same step twice, wasn't it? So whatever the difference, is between this and this, I want the same difference here. So the difference from 4 up to 7 is 3, so I need another 3, so that would be 10. And the difference from here to here, now we've got negatives involved, which, watch out for that, they'll throw that in just to confuse you maybe. 3 down to -1, well, you can use a number line here if you like, but it's take away 4, so I need to take away another 4 there, so I get -5. So H is 10 and K is -5. Now, there is another way that if you're in a top set, you might have been told this, where you just add these two. 2 add 6 is 8, and then halve it, you get 4. 1 add 6 is 7, halve it, you get 3.5. Works the same with this. 4 add 10 is 14, halve it, you get 7. 3 add -5 is -2, halve it, you get -1. So there are different ways of doing this, but basically they're just 2 equal steps.
Okay, Mary, so let's have a look at this one. So solve x plus 2x equals 12. So what do you think you do first?
Okay, well, I want x on its own, so I would put x equals 12 minus 2x.
Okay, so a lot of the time we want to get x by itself, but what we want to do first is get all of these x's together. So can you see anything we can do with this? Get all these together in one place.
Oh, okay, it's 3x, isn't it?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
3x equals 12. Oh, and so x equals 4.
Brilliant, spot on, well done.